What is up, everybody, and welcome back into Varnish Studios. Now, today in the studio, it's all about the varnish of this awesome acrylic painting. Now, this is an abstract splatter that I created with a ton of colors, an absolute ton. Now, I have layered those in a notes app on my phone of how many layers and what colors and what order that I would like to achieve the overall look for this painting, and I am so glad that I'm not disappointed in it. Now, of course, this is listed already for sale, and I will probably be making prints of this eventually, but right now it's just the original that we have here. We're going to be varnishing this in this video, which is just pretty exciting because that kind of puts the final stamp on the painting. It protects it, and then we can get it hung on the wall in the studio until we're kind of ready for it to be sold and then shipped out the door. Now, this is a Zom 100 themed painting. I of course like that anime, and it's really fun to watch it on TV, and I really was inspired by the intro of the first season or the first half of the season before it shifted to the other intro. And if you don't know that anime, I highly recommend you check it out. Now, in that anime, of course, instead of having actual blood, red blood colors, they have a vibrancy of all sorts of cool, like splatter, mosaic colors effects, right? So tons and tons of colors, and it makes the anime very, very colorful, very abstract, and very fun instead of it just being very gory. It kind of makes it a little bit of like a pop art type of look, and that's the look that I would like to have gone for this painting. Now, as you can see, I do have it lifted up off the work surface. My work surface, I actually just cleaned it up of all the dust and debris, and it is an absolute mess in here. I've got to do some like deep spring cleaning. Now, it is not too hot out here. I do have a jacket on, as you can see. Okay, so I went ahead and took off the jacket, right? So as you can see, I'm in a short sleeve polo. It's not really chilly out here. It's actually really nice. And it's not too cold to do some varnishing. If it's super cold or super high humidity, I try not to varnish very much because it can come out tacky and it can ruin your painting. And I just don't want to put ourselves in that situation because I put a lot of work into the painting and I really enjoyed making it, and I want to make sure it survives. So today we're going to be using Krylon Gallery Series Archival Varnish, and that is a 1375 gloss. Now, this can is almost spent, and I've used this on the Tyrex not too long ago, and actually used about half of the can. Usually it runs around $7 to $14 on Amazon, depending on what you're looking for. And I do have that in my Amazon affiliate list in the description below if you'd like to check that out. It's out there. So I really have fallen in love with this. The other brand that I like to use is Winsor & Newton varnish. It's in a silver can. It's pretty nice. It has a very nice sweet smell to it. This has a little bit of like a flat / aerosol smell to it for a few minutes, and then it takes about maybe 12 to 24 hours to dissipate. So this painting will stay out here for the next day or so. But by the time it gets chilly tonight, it will already be set up, and this will be pretty much in the curing stages of just degassing the aerosol smell. So we have plenty of time. We're going to do at least a minimum of 2 coats on this, guys. So let me go ahead. We'll break this out here. I'm not going to wear a respirator or anything like that. It's just super quick layers. We're going to get the sides and then get the top. And this is not a true flood coat because it's not really a liquid form, but we are going to make sure it kind of gets a nice settling across the entire surface. I'll shift you around every so often as I'm doing this, and we're going to do a total of 2 layers. So we'll just do them back to back, and I'll notate in the bottom what layer we're on. Cool? Let's get to it. So I'll go ahead and start you where we are with the existing camera angle, and then I'll shift you here in a few minutes. So I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to go along the edges in nice smooth bursts. It's really not that difficult to do. It's really good to have like a light source off to the side so you can really see those layers as you're applying them. I'm also going to try to wrap that around the back edge a little bit because I did paint that as well. It is a full gallery wrap. Liking that. Looks good. We, in all honesty, may not get 2 coats out of this can. I'm going to see. Make sure you get the corners and the edges right there, so that way when you go over it, it's not 2 layered, right? The sides aren't a layer, the top's a layer. You want to make sure that that has a nice, smooth transition layer between the varnishes on the corners. Let's go ahead and get the top here. I'm going to start in the upper corner. You can do this however you want. You can do like large sweeping motions like that, you know, if you'd like to. As long as you're getting a good coverage. I can see the light coming through the door of the shed here, and I can really see where the layers are laying in the grooves of the tooth of the canvas. The teeth of the canvas on this one isn't really super visible, but you can see it. See, I missed a spot right there. We'll go ahead and hit that. And then I'm going to go ahead and lean down, and I can see the surface there. And I can move across. I can move across it like this, and I can see where I may have missed small areas. And then the halo light which you're at, I can also see it coming across from that angle too with that glare. We got a really good coverage on this layer. And if you don't get a perfect layer, you know, you can always just come back with that next layer and just kind of fill in any spots. That's why you do 2 layers. It gives a really good coverage. I'm happy with that. Trying to get that over the edge there. There's a hair right there. Gotta get that off there. Do a little bit of cascade over the side right there so it can get a little. So making sure just to kind of get a line of where it is. And you can go in nice smooth motions here. So I really don't have very much left in here. You know, you can hear how empty it is. I do have a painting in the background, which is like a side just painting that I did with some overlay of paint that I had left over. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and spin the rest of the can on the surface, just because this is the end of this can. So why not give it a little bit extra layers there? It's no problem. And that can is pretty much gone. Okay, so as you can see, it's super wet, super saturated, and it's okay. It's going to do a little bit of a self-level. And I'm really happy with how it's turned out. Look how vibrant these colors are. I'll pick it up just slightly, but I don't want to pick it up too much. Look how great those colors are. I'll go ahead and zoom in for you just so you can kind of get a zoomed in view of what the colors look like. But I'm really happy with it. I know we're just using a can of varnish on an existing acrylic painting, and you can find that acrylic painting just as a fun tutorial time lapse on my YouTube channel. And I literally made this on the floor in the indoor studio, so it was just super fun. I think in total, majority of the colors were all custom mixes until I got to the very top layers where I used some just pure green, neons, blues, and some purples. A lot of the hot pinks and things were just some straight mixes, but like the lavender, the turquoise, a few of the other dark blues were all custom mixes, and you know that's between me and myself. I also mixed up a lot of the dark reds as well as the bright, vibrant reds, and I let some of that intermingle here and there throughout the project. I also, of course, signed it in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, a lot of people will say, well, this type of art is super easy, it's super fun. Damn right it is. It is super fun to create art like this because you're not expected to make it a particular way. It is fun. It is however it comes off of your fingers, however you splatter it, however you paint it. It is your artwork, and it's just fun to create stuff like this where you're just being free with what you're doing and you're not limited to like a reference photo or something like that. As always, guys, make sure you like and subscribe, guys. It really means the world to me. I would really like to grow more on YouTube in itself, and I hope these types of videos are fun for you guys to watch. Some of it's real time, some of it is time lapse, but it's just enjoyable. All right, so without letting it fall over, I'm going to tilt it up slightly. Now, as you can see there, you can kind of see the glisten of the varnish there. It'll take around maybe 10 to 15 minutes before it just truly wouldn't drip or anything. I just slipped off my little plastic cup there. But as you can see there, it really is a great coverage there. The colors are absolutely popping now, so it's really nice. I'm going to go ahead and put that back down here. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and let this cure up for about 24 hours or so before we bring it back into the house to hang on the wall in the indoor studio. The varnish really did bring out the, just vibrancy of all the colors, and it's really nice. I love the darks to the light colors, and it's a really great combination of layers. But this, again, was inspired by Zom 100, so if you haven't checked out that anime, then make sure you do so. I really enjoyed watching it, and I look forward to the next seasons as they come out. I will catch you guys later.